Hi, Susan Bafford here. I am so excited to come to you today and share with you about happiness. I am thrilled to be invited by these amazing group of ladies to talk about the Increase Conference online. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here today. The Increase Conference has a specialness that's just for you to grasp the things that you need to hear today, the things from the other ladies, from the other videos that you're going to be able to see through this conference. I'm so excited that you have made the decision to watch because we can grow so much just by learning what other people's experiences are. So I'm not going to take any more time with that. I am a happiness coach, and I have been a happiness coach for several years. I started out working with clients that have PTSD and just helping them find happiness. Super rewarding way to work with clients that have just suffered, so much from grief and war and trauma. So I come to you today, and everyone's going to come from different spectrums. We're going to have new mommies, we're going to have empty nesters, we're going to have men that are sick of their jobs. So many different types of people. So I'm going to keep this at a very wide range for you today. So welcome to the Increase Conference, and the topic of happiness is very interesting because it is so throughout the Bible. So, God talks about joy and passions and desires and happy and happiness. Actually, the word happiness is in the scriptures 36 passages. So it's really exciting that we can know that God speaks of happiness and that He wants that for you as well. There's some things about happiness that I'm going to share with you today that may be really, really new. And in that, the number one thing is that happiness has to be intentional. When when we grow up and we're young children, we laugh a lot. Little 18 months old and 2-year olds and 4-year olds, they just love to laugh. And they have high energy and they love laughter. And, when does that stop? When do we notice that that stops? I think probably puberty and teenage years is when you see it really, really decrease a lot. So we have to actually be intentional about this happiness thing. And I'm going to share with you some amazing things that helps being intentional. The number one thing with being intentional with laughing is with happiness, is laughter. So when someone is laughing, then they just innately become happy. So how do you teach yourself how to be happy? How do you teach yourself how to laugh? It's kind of an interesting concept, right? So this is what I've done, and I'll tell you a story about one of my clients as I move forward with this. But um, when you laugh, things happen within your body that is amazing. Several years ago, when I was becoming a happiness coach and I was putting together all of the tools to make it, formulate, I saw a holistic physician, and she had me put my hands on this like little machine, and then she had me say different things in different forms of laughter. So one of them was walking into my house and greeting my family. So I would say, "Hi, how are you?" And this would register what your organs were doing. And then I would come, I would pretend like I was walking through the door and I would say, "Hi, how are you?" Just kind of with a little bit of a jazz to it. And then she had me doing it. "Hi, how are you?" And then even more so, even a deeper laugh, like almost just "Hi, how are you?" And I went after I said probably 10 or 15 phrases. I was like, this is weird trying to say these things with laughter like that. So after we got done, I went back over and looked, and she showed me the degrees of how your organs are functioning. So when you're laughing, your organs are functioning at a really high level, and all the ones that were lower than that, like the liver, the stomach, the kidneys, the heart, the lungs, all of the organs inside, it showed on this diagram. That kind of did a little click in my brain about, wow, we need to have a lot more laughter in our life. So that's kind of one of the ingredients that really helped me with formulating that. So teaching yourself to laugh is kind of a weird concept, but one of the clients that I worked with, he had been over in the war and he just came back different. He came back depressed. He came back just sad all the time. And of course, couldn't sleep. And there's other attributes that happen with that as well. So his first assignment for me was to set a timer to begin to laugh. And you needed to laugh for at least 20 seconds. And when you first start doing that, 20 seconds is a long time. So then we just increased it, and then we increased it by how many times a day, and then we increased it by how long. And in 3 or 4 months, he could hardly contain himself from laughter. We actually would get on the phone, and he would just start chuckling. So it's really something interesting that you can add to your daily regimen of, okay, I'm going to set a timer. I'm going to laugh. And when you have little kids, it's a lot easier to laugh. It's harder to laugh when God bless people that, if we have to be around people that are really sick and hurting, that's the ones we need to bring the laughter to. Now, I am totally for laughter movies. Any kind of comedy movies that is going to help you laugh, I think that's fantastic. But you don't need that crutch to make you laugh. But I think it's really good to, sit with people that are not doing well in their health and that kind of thing to watch really funny movies. But then, and the other thing that we have to really be careful of is some people think that tickling is something that's going to make somebody laugh, and that's not always really the case. That's actually what happens more with kids. They kind of like to laugh when they're being tickled, but adults they're a little different story. So a couple other things about when I talked about what happened to our organs, there is some attributes about laughter that I want to share with you really quickly. So the benefits of laughter, it boosts your immunity big time. It lowers your stress hormones. So what happens, we have this thing called cortisol. And when our cortisol is really high, we are really whacked out. It ages your skin, it ages your organs, it ages everything in your body when your cortisol is really high. When you laugh, your cortisol lowers and lowers and lowers. It's an amazing, God gave us laughter for this purpose. You know how those phrases say, staying young at heart, and there's lots of little phrases out there about young at heart and stuff like that. Well, that's because laughter adds years to your life. It's amazing how this works. So I'm so excited for you to learn more about this. It actually decreases pain. If you're in a real painful situation and you can make yourself laugh, and it's a habit, it's a new habit that we have to teach ourselves to do, to learn to laugh. It's just incredible. It relaxes your muscles. So if you're like all tensed up, or if you have a really bad neck pain or back pain or something, if you can just make yourself laugh and not focus on the pain, this is a great exercise for you to do, to learn to laugh. It is amazing. It prevents heart disease. Isn't that amazing? So when you look at some of the countries where heart disease is really low, a lot of times those people are not in front of a TV that much, and they have a lot more joy and a lot more laughter because they do things as a group or as a family. So the little devices, these little devices are the worst thing in the world for happiness. They don't bring you happiness. Isn't that incredible? So my next session that I'm doing with this team of amazing ladies is time management. I'll talk a little bit about that in that video about our devices. But today is happiness. And so the other attribute, it improves your mood. I mean, just sheer laughter will improve your mood. Music is a very important ingredient that can change the mood of a room and make you want to whistle, make you want to sing. We need to be boisterous about this amazing thing of laughter. And I have some really cool free gifts I want to give you guys that will help you with this, that will assist you with this. So I definitely want to, reach out to me at susanbafford.com. I'll have this information for you. You can either opt in or I'll have the email on the video is what I'm planning to do. Because I do spell my name with a Z. So it's SUZAN at Susan Bafford, BAFFORD.com, but I'll get that information to you later. So, relieving stress and giving you joy, it will increase the whole mood and everything that you reflect. It'll bring harmony into you and your family and everybody that you touch. So, one of my uh, declarations that I like to say, I really want to share that one with you. I choose to initiate God's promises and blessings in my life today by declaring them as true. He is the God who gives life to the dead and calls things that are not as though they were. Romans 4:17. The power of the blessing and happiness is in speaking it. And because I believe that God has more wonderful things planned for me than I could ever imagine. Ephesians 3:20 says, "Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think or imagine." That's just a tiny little snippet of one of the declarations that I really want to share with you. Our words bring happiness, our words bring joy, and our words bring life. We either have the choice of speaking death or speaking life. And happiness is all about speaking life. So I'm Susan Bafford coming to you as a happiness coach. Hopefully will be your happiness coach. And enjoy the ladies. Enjoy this conference. It is designed especially for you, my friend. Take care. God bless.